Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you wanted to, you can just be a lurker and hang out, because it's always okay to lurk. We're currently at 34 subscribers. Somebody renewed their subscription between the last stream and this stream. Hi, I'm John. Welcome. I don't know who did. Harold's here. Welcome, Harold. Lashbrook is here. So whoever, Aristophan is here too. Great. Whoever did renew that subscription, thank you for doing it out there. Shout outs to you. But yeah, you can say, hey, Lord Crashin, we got a great crew here on a Monday. Welcome, everybody. Happy to have you here. As you can see, I do have this that is integrated with Twitch. This is I have a goal set up for 40 subscribers. And that allows me to have this overlay that actually updates in real time, and I don't have to manually update it like I was doing for a very long time, an unnecessarily long amount of time. I was manually doing that, and now it is automated, and that's great. And then I can adjust it, which I will have to do for the subathon. That's right, the upcoming subathon. A week from tomorrow is the subathon. It is a long-ass stream. The goal is to get to 75 subscribers. That is going to be a week from tomorrow, Tuesday the 28th, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. It will run several hours. Will we stop before we get to 75? Possibly. Will we do a really long stream if I get to 75 early? Yes, 100%. I will be checking out some Persona 4 Golden with mods, and I'm going to show off some scam decks in Hearthstone. Stuff that, is pretty low stress for me and just will be easy to showcase and have fun with. When we hit 40 subscribers, we're going to take a look at my TV appearances and college humor bits. When we get to 50 subscribers, we're going to watch some old-ass French wrestling called New Catch Wrestling. It's from the 90s. It's wild and weird. At 60 subscribers, anime karaoke. I've got some anime karaoke songs. You may have seen me do them on stream before. I don't know if I'll have any new ones, but it'll be fun and silly. And then at 75 subscribers, Pilk. I'm going to drink a full glass of Pepsi milk. Do I want to do that? No. Did I feel like I needed something somewhat punishing to get to 75? Yes. Will I do a long stream if you don't get there? Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. That's a week from tomorrow. If you can make it, that's great. If it can't make it, that's fine. I'm starting at 4 p.m. and running. I'll stop and eat at some point. That's going to be a first. Hopefully we get to the first where I drink Pilk, because that means I had 75 subscribers, because that's nonsense. That is a thing I would love to never be true, but that's okay. But two, I'm going to eat my dinner on stream. And that, I've never eaten food on stream before. I've taken bites, like a bite to see how it tasted on my cooking streams. But I've never sat down and had a meal on stream. So I will do that. And that's going to be weird. I'm going to have to make something and then just heat it up in the microwave or whatever. I'll be yeah, that'll be a strange thing. I guess I could get delivery. Maybe I'll get delivery. Maybe that'll be something we do during the stream, is we'll figure out what I want to order on Seamless or something and order it. I haven't quite decided yet. There's still a lot up in the air, but that's next Tuesday. What's going on tonight, you ask, expectedly? Well, we're working on the Lfrith from Witch from Mercury, Mobile Suit Gundam Witch from Mercury. We got the Lfrith. It's from the prologue. It is our pink friend. It is very similar to the Ariel. Perhaps storylines explanation for that. So we're working on that. The Lfrith. We're finishing the feet. Then we're going to work on the legs and the waist and the weapons, which are all part of the backpack. I don't think we're going to finish this tonight. We'll probably finish it on Thursday. Let's get into building, because that's what you're here for. I'm going to retweet my tweet, and then we'll hang out and do some building and some conversation and all that. Do that, and then great. I retweeted my tweet, and now I can go to the overhead. Boom, overhead. Oh, we got to adjust this. Got out of the way there. All right, great. So there's the upper half of our kit. Working on the legs here. I just snipped some parts out to get my hands warmed up, and then we'll start putting her all together here. And then we're just working on this kit. Lovely pink here, just fantastic coloring. Actually, I should do the back of this here right now before I attach it, because that'll like make it look nicer. If I hit this with a little bit of black here on the pink, and then even though it's the back of the kit, we don't really see it too much. And then the rest of it we'll do with gray. Again, you're not really going to see any part of this, but we can at least hit it with a little bit of color just to make it pop a little bit. You know what I'm talking about. We talked about that. What do we got on the agenda for tonight? In the second hour, we will do Pat Baer's Manga Club entry. We'll talk about some manga, and we'll talk about some anime. That'll be in the second hour because it's Manga Monday, so I got to talk about some manga with y'all. So we'll do that. And then I wanted to start with, I got a bunch of things I can always pull from, but I wanted to start with a conversation with y'all about malls. And I want to know from chat, have any of you worked in a mall before? Malls became a topic of conversation on a Discord that I'm on. So I was talking about my time working in a mall. And turns out there was another person in the Discord that also worked at a mall. So we kind of talked about our experiences working there. He worked at GameStop. Of course, longtime viewers will remember that I worked at a store called Charms Animation and Gifts. I did a Pat Baer's Anime Club about my time working at Charms, just my experiences there, which I got to go back and watch that again, see if I talked about everything. But yeah, I worked at a import store. We sold wall scrolls and model kits and OSTs, anime themed CDs, and licensed Sanrio products like big Hello Kitty dolls and such, and stationery and all kinds of stuff like that. And our biggest seller, by far, you never worked in a mall, says Lashburn. Our biggest seller was fan subs. You're right. That's right. We sold illegal things in the mall. Lord Creston, also not a mall employee. It's wild to think about that. This was I worked there almost 2 years. So this is 2000. No, so this is this is 2000 till like the end of 2001. So almost 2 years. I almost made it 2002. But yeah. That I worked there. So the fan subs were the biggest thing. They were obviously not, it was not cool that we were selling them, but we did and made a pretty okay profit on it, I guess. But yeah, I worked in the mall. I was the only employee, because the thing about working at a store like that is you're just waiting for kids to get out of school, like high school kids to come and buy stuff, right? You're not really expecting to sell anything to other people. So there was a lot of downtime. We'd have to open because, you got to be open mall hours. So we'd open up, and then there'd be the mall walkers and maybe some family come in, some folks, people that, adults with jobs would come in. I would sell some Sanrio stuff. I would clean the store up. I would watch some fan subs on the preview monitor, because we would check VHS tapes to make sure that they were working right. But that also was a TV VCR combo, so I would just watch that, and eventually moved it so that I could put the DVD player in there when we had some DVDs and just watch a bunch of anime that way. Which is what I did when no one was around, cleaning. And sometimes I would build model kits for in-store display, because I was the one that was good at doing that. And so they would ask me to do that, which was fine. I would close. If I did not bring my lunch with me, I would close the store for a couple of minutes and run up to the food court, where I got a discount. Not to the food court. I got a discount at one place because they liked me. I went to Panda Express, and I got a discount at Panda Express. So I went there multiple times a week to get lunch, and they would sometimes give me a free soda. Other times I would just get a free soda or bring a soda in, but they would often give me a free soda, which was very kind of them. And then I would just eat my lunch because I couldn't be gone too long. I would have to eat in the store, and then people would come in, and I would just put my food down and help people out, and then go back and eat. The best time at that store, we'll talk about the good stuff before we get into the bad stuff. The best time at that store was it was a Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day in the year 2000. I remember it. Long day, almost closing time for the mall because you had to be open mall hours. You can't set your own hours inside of a mall. So getting ready to, close to closing up. We did a busy day. It was a busy day at some point. But it was Valentine's Day, and I get a dude coming in and looking around, and I get the vibe. This guy, like instantly, right? Instantly, I get the vibe. This motherfucker did not buy a Valentine's Day gift and needs one stat. Because he's looking at the Hello Kitty stuff. And he's just like, do you have anything else besides what you have on display? I was like, no, that we got what we got there. And he's like, the only one with the heart is the big one. I know she said she likes Hello Kitty. And it's got a heart, but it's big. How much is that one? And I'm like, it's $115. And he goes, oof. And I was like, yeah, I know. When I tell you about this is a big Hello Kitty, this was a big fucking Hello Kitty. Like, it was huge. It was like bigger than a child. It was like toddler sized. It was a big stuffed animal of a Hello Kitty. And he's looking at it and he's thinking about it. And I'm like, my guy, I can show you some other stuff if that's outside what you're willing to pay. And I'm like, I cannot make a deal with you. What I'm saying is, big enough to fit a real British girl in it. But what I can do is, my guy, is I've got wrapping paper. And I can wrap that up if you want. I might even be able to find the bag that it came in, but I can wrap that up. And he goes, yeah, okay. And yeah, he goes, you know what? I'm doing it. He looks at his watch. He says, I'm doing it. So I ring him up, and he pays. He hands me. This is $115 after tax. I remember it was like even $115. I ring it up. He hands me $200. We got the change, no problem. I go to get the change, put the change on the table, and then I go to turn around to take a couple steps to grab the wrapping paper because I don't know where the bag is. I thought I could find the bag. I can't find the bag. It's been there for so long. We've had this thing for a while. I can't find that. So go to grab the wrapping paper and he left. He apparently decided that he had to go. He was late enough. It did not matter to him to get it wrapped. He just took it and left. And also left $85. He left the change. And I looked at it. And I was like, if I walk out these doors, I can probably find him. So I grab the money and I go to take a step out, and I don't, because you think I'll be able to see him because it's a giant Hello Kitty. I don't see him. The dude must have just started fucking running. Must have been very late to whatever he needed to get to hand off this gift because I could not fucking find him. So I was like, okay, well, if he comes back, I'll give him his change. And if he doesn't come back, I guess I have an $85 tip for services rendered. Because the one thing I was not going to do was tell anyone in the store that I worked for. Now, I was going to tell my manager or the boss that somebody left $85. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have said something, because what if he called when I wasn't there and people were like, no one turned in money. I don't know what to tell you, my guy, or whatever. Like, that could have been a problem. But I was like, you know what? I'm saving up money to go move to New York. This $85 is going to be great. Gas went up. Hooray! I did it. So that was my big reward, because I never saw that dude again. He never came back. I was working like 3 days after that day, so I figured, like, well, if he comes back, I'll be here. I kept the money like in my wallet in case he showed up and wanted his money, because I don't want to be considered a thief. But I certainly didn't do my due diligence to track him down. And then he never came back. And so all was well. There were very good times. Watched a lot of anime, built some model kits. I got a discount on stuff that I bought for myself, some model kits. I was able to give recommendations like, hey, my kid likes this. What should I get? One of the coolest things we did in the store is we had a little wall display with in-store recommendations from the staff. And I was like, hey, I got this idea. You know there's an anime club in town, right? And they were like, yeah. Some of the people come in. What if we included in our recommendations, like, the anime club's recommendation? Like, a member of the club could recommend something and we could, like, change it out periodically that we have in stock. And they were like, oh, I don't know about that. I was like, I think it would be really nice and they would really appreciate it. And, like, you know, they're all, like, honestly, a lot of the anime club are our customers, and there are a lot of people in the anime club. It was pretty popular. For those that don't remember anime clubs, or you didn't have to deal with it, there was a time where it was very fucking hard to get anime. In the days of, like, pre-torrents and streaming services, you had to tape trade or DVD trade, or go to, like, Suncoast or FYE and buy tapes that had, like, very little anime on it and were very expensive. And anime clubs were a great way to see a bunch of stuff, because people would, like, send away. The guy that ran this anime club, which I was a member of, should point out, he would support fan subs. Part of his, hell, even MR Merc days were a little weird. Yes, Ghostfell, totally. But he would sponsor anime. He would pay for subgroups to be able to afford, like, laser discs and VHS tapes to get stuff like collections of stuff he wanted to see. And that part of the dues of the anime club in that town went towards getting that stuff taken care of. So it was kind of a big deal. So I pushed for it, and they eventually agreed. And guess what? Supporting the local anime club led to bigger sales. It also led to more members of the anime club hanging out all the fucking time, which I did not love, because I'm trying to work here. And also, I can't sit and watch anime while you're talking to me about how we should stock more Gundam, which, we should stock more Gundam. But we don't. We should definitely stock more Gunpla. And yeah, Plamo. We should get some other. I don't think we should stock resin kits and garage kits, but, like, I understand where you're coming from, and I agree. But I'm not the person making purchasing decisions, my dude. So why don't you buy something for once? Anime Club for Men. That was great. It was a bummer because the mall would not let us. We tried. I pushed for TCG nights. We had some import cards, but it was never, like, our big thing. But I was like, you know, if we hosted things, people were going to come to the mall. They're going to eat in the food court. They're going to come and play some games, some tournament stuff. And then they might buy anime, you know? And they were like, I was like, you can sell some fucking Pokemon wall scrolls to some of these people. And they were like, yeah. The store was into it. The mall was not into it. We were not allowed to have events in the mall, which is understandable, but also sucks because it would have been cool if they let us. They did not let us. B115, got it. The things that sucked about working in a mall. The biggest thing that sucked about working in a mall was you had to be open when the mall hours were. Like, our store opened at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I can't remember exactly what. Again, it's been over 20 years since I did this. But yeah, you had to open when they opened, so you had to be there like right before opening and open up. I would get there right before I had to unlock the doors because there wasn't much setup to do. I would do most of the setup while the store was open because I didn't get customers. I got like people that like walked by and would like look in, and there was one lady who every week would buy a different one more tape of Card Captor Sakura because the Card Captors was in reruns, and her daughter begged her to like get the fan subs, and she would buy one tape a week. So there was one day a week where I would meet this lady, and I kept track of what tapes that she bought because she eventually was just starting to forget the number and didn't want to get the wrong one. So to make sure I made one sale during that time, I would keep track for her. But yeah, I mean, I had like repeat customers that would come in, but for the most part, I wouldn't sell anything until like 1 p.m. at the earliest. So it was a waste of time. The other thing that sucked about working in a mall was partially involved in the fact that you had to be open when they wanted to, which meant Christmas time, the holidays. Because y'all know, in an effort to get more money out of you, the mall is open early and closes late around the holidays because they expect an influx of shoppers. We didn't sell a lot of anime at 8 in the morning 2 weeks before Christmas. I'll tell you that. Did we do well during that time? Yes. Because people would have income that would come in, because people would come in for recommendations. Like, he really likes Dragon Ball Z. He's like, has he watched Dragon Ball, the original? And he's like, oh, he hasn't seen the original. You can buy some Dragon Ball. Or like, oh, well, maybe he'll like this, or maybe he'll like that. Or people being like, so which one of these is Gundam Wing? And be like, do you mean the TV show or the exact model kit? You know, like whatever. People come in, they buy some stuff, and it was cool. Or people be like, y'all got any like Berserk stuff? And I'd be like, do you want the Berserk soundtrack? It's really fucking good. I wouldn't swear. And they'd be like, I'll put it on right now. But I couldn't do that in Christmas time because you can't have music, in-store music at Christmas time in that mall that I worked at. You had to have the music from the mall pipe in, which was Christmas music. And in the year 2000 and 2001, that was, unfortunately, one CD that they just repeated over and over again. Harold, you have a great night. Thanks for stopping in, my friend. Talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your Monday. So you would just have one CD, and they wouldn't start, like, when you start the day, just pick a random track. But no, they would start at the beginning of the CD. So every morning during Christmas, you would hear the same songs throughout the day, and then it would repeat. And it was a nightmare because it was like seasonal and fine, but it was just like consistent, like over and over again in a way that really fucking bummed me out. But it was mostly the hours. It was mostly just dealing with the hours of it. That was a nightmare. I still had fun. I still liked working in a mall. Eventually, we had two stores, and eventually the second store moved out of a mall, and I started working there, and I was in like a shopping plaza. So we could set our own hours, which was good. So I ended up like working less hours, but we made way more sales. And so I just asked for a raise because I was busier, and they gave it to me, which was good. Also, that was great because I was next to a pizza place, and so I would just get pizza. It was a good pizza place too, so I would just get pizza all the fucking time. So that was nice. Let's see. Is there anything else about working in a mall? Hey, Lord Crashman wants me to hit the dance button. Sure, I'll hit the dance button. Here you go. Dance button. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Let's see. Is there anything else about this time that I'm like, oh, I want to talk about the mall? Oh, one cool thing. When the arcade went out, which sucked. It sucked when the arcade went out. That sucked. But the movie theater bought the DDR machine. And the manager, the night manager of the movie theater, which had its own hours. It was in the mall, but it had its own hours because it had entrance that wasn't in the mall. So that was nice. The manager would ask me for anime recommendations, which I would give. And then, on his own, decided that he would start giving me free plays on the DDR machine. And so I would end, like my shift and then go over and do some DDR and then go home. If I was not like wiped out from the day. So that was great. And then all I had to do was tell him about anime stuff that he could then tell his son about and feel like a big shot that knew about the coolest anime that was out there. Now, did I recommend a lot of stuff that we sold? Yes. I also recommend stuff that was on TV because that's easy. But I did recommend a ton of stuff that we also sold to try to make some sales because I am still a businessman. I don't do it all the time. Always be selling. I mean, look, I was in retail, right? I wasn't there. I wasn't making a commission on any of these things, right? So that wasn't important to me. But it's always important to me to make connections with people and help people out, but also look out for fucking number one. Here's the thing, right? If I'm the best employee there, then they can only get so mad at me when I fuck around, which I would do. I already talked about how I would watch anime when no one was in the store. I was not supposed to do that. I was not supposed to have the TV on and just checking shit out. I was supposed to find busy work to do, but fuck that. I wasn't going to go find busy work. I was going to hang out and watch some anime for free. I definitely was not supposed to do that. And they did not enjoy that I did that. So but they could only say so much because I was the second bestseller. Research, yes, LaGrange. I was the second bestseller they had. I was never going to do numbers as a girl whose name I have forgotten years ago. She only worked on Saturdays because she went to college. So she worked every Saturday from open to close. We had multiple people on the weekends because it was busier. She only worked Saturdays, but even though she worked so few hours compared to me, she sold so much goddamn anime because she was a knowledgeable young woman, and also, in the same way that Always Be Selling, she brought everyone from her fucking college. Anyone she met in college, she would be like, hey, do you like model kit stuff? Do you like anime? Do you want to see this stuff? Do you want to check this stuff out? Hey, let me know. She was so good about selling whatever she could, whatever she could do. She was just so good at it. But she brought in so many customers. And I don't remember her face, but I do remember her being nerdy attractive. That is what I remember of this girl that was about my age, was that she seemed cool and put together and attractive. Was she? I don't remember. But she was definitely works at an anime store attractive. That's definitely true. She was definitely approachably attractive in that sense. I don't remember specifics, though. Can't tell you. But that was my time working in a mall. Now, let me tell you about my time walking through a mall every fucking day. The Pavonia Newport Mall, which is right by, probably haven't been to a mall in years since we're crashing it. It's been a while for me. The Pavonia Newport Mall in not so beautiful Jersey City, New Jersey, is a mall that after it closes, parts of it stay open because it is the easiest way to get to the PATH train, which is like a subway train that connects New Jersey into New York. It's a commuter subway system, the PATH. And one of the stops was my stop. That was my stop. The Pavonia Newport stop was the stop that I used when I needed to get around, or when I was going into New York and coming out of New York. Because at the time, when I first moved to New York, I lived in the Bronx. I did not love it. It was cheap. I moved to Jersey City. I got a great deal in a brownstone. I was going to acting school, and the young woman, the model that owned the brownstone, rented it out to students at the school, rented rooms, because she was a graduate there. And she was like, well, if you're going to this school, it means your parents are probably paying your tuition, so you'll be good for rent. That was her thing. And it was a way to give back. It was a nice place. I had a large room and my own entrance because it was like the basement floor, but it had windows and was still a fine place to live. I did enjoy living there. But so every day I would get up. If I had school, I would have to, because I was going to acting school, I would have to get up and go and then walk through a parking lot and then walk into a mall and then walk through the mall and then take an escalator on the other side of the mall and then go into the Pavonia Newport subway stop. You could not get to the Pavonia Newport subway stop, or PATH train stop, I should clarify, unless you walked through the mall. There was no good way to do it. You could leave another entrance, but it couldn't get you to the street that you needed to get to. So the PATH was not 24 hours, but the final trains ran later than the mall was open. So every day, every single day, when the mall closed, security would come in and they would grab barricades. I'm gonna panel line this thing first and then put this piece on. They grab barricades and then they would have a barricade path that would lead you to the parking lot, because it was a throughway for people who were walking and for people that parked in the parking lot to take the train. They needed to get there. So you couldn't go like into stores or anything. You couldn't really wander around because there would be people that would monitor it. But you would walk through a closed mall, and I would do that 5 days a week. And it was silly and weird. And it at first it was kind of cool, and then it was absolutely not cool, and I really was annoyed by it. And then I hated living in there because I would have to take the subway. I would be at a place. I'd be like hanging out with people, right? And I'd be like, all right, I got to go because I have to take the subway to the PATH train. And I got to get there before the last PATH train. Otherwise, I got to stay here or take a car. And the car is so fucking expensive to do that. So I would just have to leave early because I was like, well, yeah, I got to get home at some point. And, my friends would be talking about Last Call and all that. And I'd be like, yeah, no, I got to go. So that always sucked. And it meant that I didn't go into the city. Like after school, I would either stay in the city and do stuff, or I would go home and then not go back. I wouldn't like commute in back and forth, which was frustrating as a person in their early 20s trying to make a connection and hang out with people and whatever. And then also I started dating somebody that lived in Hoboken, so I would have to go farther out into Jersey to see them in Hoboken. And I eventually, when that relationship ended, I was grateful that I did not have to go to New Jersey anymore, because that relationship continued after I moved to Queens. I still had to deal with that. That was annoying. That was even worse, going from Queens out to New Jersey. because you had to go in through Manhattan. It was a whole fucking thing. And she didn't want to come into the city because she just didn't like the city, which was fine, except that's where I was. And so I would always have to go to her, and it was a whole fucking thing. Did that screw up our relationship? It didn't help it. I would say her not wanting to ever come to me and me being really tired of going to fucking Hoboken all the goddamn time definitely did not help our relationship. John says, I went to a mall a year ago to get some shoes for my wedding. Hell yeah, John. I went to the mall here to buy clothes, and we also wanted to go somewhere else. I went with my folks to the mall here in South Carolina, and that was probably 2 years ago, and that's the last time that I have been to a mall, because I have been pretty much on a clothing freeze since then, but still went. We finished the leg. We're going to move on to the other leg. Anyway, I talked about malls for like 40 minutes today, probably more like half an hour, but conversation about malls came up, and it was fun to have somebody else that worked at the mall. Just Another Spicy says, the last mall I went to when I lived in Jersey was the Willowbrook Mall. Nice. Lord Crashton says, question, does it count as going to the mall if you go to a store on the outer side of the mall but never go through the hall insides? Lord Crashington, on a technicality, you have both gone to Schrodinger's Mall. You have both gone to the mall and not gone to the mall, because you went to the mall location, but you did not go through the halls interconnected to other places. So you both did and didn't go to the mall. Like, you drove to the mall, and then you went inside the mall, but you didn't go inside the mall. It's a weird thing. Also, I guess I should say, I should mention the Crossgates Mall. It's shaped like an X. The Crossgates Mall, is it still open in Albany? I have no fucking idea. I have not been to Albany since 1999. But I went to the University of Albany from 1999 to 2000, so I guess technically in the year 2000 I was in there. Went there for a year, and I spent a lot of time at the Crossgates Mall because you could take a bus from school to the mall for free. And there was a movie theater in the mall, and there was a couple games in the movie theater. And so I would go there with friends, and I would go do some shopping, and we would go to the food court, and we would fucking hang out. And it felt like some normalcy in a time when I did not feel normal about anything in my life, because my year at college was not fun. And then just to round that out, 1999, went to college. 2000, finished my first year, did not return. Worked for a year and change, almost 2 years. Moved to New York to go to acting school. Started going to the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater to see shows and to hang out. Did not conclude acting school. Pursued comedy. Got a job doing comedy stuff at a comedy theater. Kind of fucking never looked back. I have what is called some college. I have some college education. There used to be an old Paul F. Tompkins joke about some college. I don't remember. I just remember him saying it because he had some college. I can't remember the exact joke, and I shouldn't have brought it up. Hi-oh. Anyway, I did. Yeah. So that's my whole fucking story. And then stayed in New York. Lived in New York lived in New York for a few months. Lived in New Jersey for like a bunch of months. Lived in Connecticut for 3 months. Moved to Queens. Stayed in Queens for a long time. And then I was in Queens. I was in Harlem. I was in Brooklyn. And then Brooklyn ever since. I lived in Manhattan for like a month. I lived in every borough except for Staten Island. I visited Staten Island and then did not move there. I had no plans to ever live there, and I'm glad I never did. If you're from Staten Island, or you live in Staten Island, hey, you fucking know. You know why I didn't like it there. You fucking get it. That's why you're not there anymore. Or if you are, you're unhappy. There are a few people I know who are real positive about Staten Island. And those people still fucking live there. That's about it. Let's see. Other things we can talk about. Second hour, we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. Manga and anime. Wrestling. I got a little wrestling things to talk about here. Elimination Chamber was happening on Saturday. I did not adjust my stream at all in order to watch it. I watched the first 2 matches beforehand, and then I caught the replay later. I did catch the end of it because by the time I was on streaming, the main event match, which was Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, was just starting, so I was able to catch that. I think it had been going for a little while. I missed all the entrance and all that. Look, do I think Sami Zayn should have won that match? I don't know. I don't think he should have. I think the storyline, I think there is a world where WWE gets behind Sami Zayn as the person that dethrones Roman Reigns. I don't think that's a reasonable thing, though. I don't think Sami Zayn moves the needle. I think Sami Zayn is big on a few people that watch WWE who still cling to WWE being a company that can grow and change and get with the times. I don't think Sami Zayn is the next Daniel Bryan. I think Sami Zayn is Sami Zayn. I think whatever they do with him will be great. There always exists the possibility that it will be a three-way fight, and he'll get added to the Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns match. There's a possibility, but I think if he gets added to that, then he gets fucking pinned. So it doesn't benefit anybody. Yeah, I think the story is going to be Sami Zayn coming together again with Kevin Owens. And people were like, why didn't Kevin help him? It's like, well, because he's fucking mad at Sami Zayn. Remember how Sami kept fucking with him and didn't stand up for him until it was almost too late? It took Roman Reigns almost hitting Kevin Owens unprotected in the head with a chair before Sami was like, hey, don't. Like, come on. They haven't worked their shit out. That's why he didn't come in to help Sami Zayn win. Also, Kevin Owens still wants to be champion. Austin Theory continuing to be United States champion is fine. I don't really care about him. It does set up Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and that just means that Logan Paul won't be interrupting in a bigger match than that. And that's great. I mean, imagine him being in a title match. That sounds terrible. So in this case, he's just wrestling Seth Rollins, who will be fine. I think that is totally okay. Look, do I think Edge and Beth Phoenix needed that win against Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley? Kind of. It's a good story. Having Edge win in Montreal, like, Edge is the Canadian that won that night because, I mean, Natalya wasn't going to fucking win and Sammy wasn't going to win. So Edge won. Cool. Also, the crowd needed a feel-good moment because Brock Lesnar kicked Bobby Lashley in the dick. So Bobby won via disqualification. And it was barely any kind of a match at all. And the fans were just fucking pissed about that. The fucking bullshit ending. Nonsense. Complete nonsense. So give him a win. Asuka. Asuka won. That fucking rules. Asuka versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania is a fucking killer match. That's going to be great as hell. And they're going to beat the shit out of each other. And it's going to be rad. Clown Asuka is terrifying and wonderful. I wanted more in the match for Nikki Cross, but I didn't think she was going to win it, so I'm not that broken up about her not doing more. Glad Clown Asuka is back, says Just Another Spicy. Indeed, we've got Evil Clown Asuka The paint is there. The militaristic uniform stays in Japan, apparently, which is a fucking good call. We love that for her. Also, Asuka has won Money in the Bank, the Royal Rumble, and the Money in the Bank, Money in the Bank briefcase, Royal Rumble, and Elimination Chamber. There are only 4 men to ever do that. It's like Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, and Edge. And no woman has ever done that before because there haven't been that many women in Elimination Chambers. There haven't been many women in the Money in the Banks. And so that's fucking cool. And there haven't been that many Royal Rumbles for ladies. So all of those are still pretty new. So it makes sense that Asuka is the first to do it. But also, Asuka fucking did that. And that's cool. We love that because Asuka rules. And she should get cool shit and do cool shit. I think she should heel it up and beat Bianca Belair. And then Bianca Belair should turn heel because that would be interesting. Bianca's had the belt for a year. I think it's time to shake things up. And then either Bianca chases trying to get that belt back, or she turns heel and does some stuff. And we'll see what happens. But I would like to see that. Yeah, I think that's about it. Match of the night was probably the United States Championship. I think that was just really well. There were some spots that were scary, certainly. The Poison Rana on Bronson Reed looked like he landed on his fucking head, and I hope he's okay. That did not look cool. But, it was still a solid match. Bronson Reed got to look like a big tough monster. It took a lot to take him out, and that's what you want. Is there no King of the Ring equivalent for the women's division? So, just that are spicy. There is a Queen of the Ring, but there's only been one. They've only done it once, and Zelina Vega won, and so she was Queen Zelina, and it was fine, but it didn't. And then it didn't really do much for her. But they've only done it once, and it was very recent because it was. Zelina Vega, winning, and she has, she's been in and out of the company a couple times. But yeah, so they have not. So we can't have her, Asuka, have it because she didn't win that one. So maybe someday she'll be Queen of the Ring. I don't know because King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, like the fact that they did both was good because they hadn't done that before. So I thought that was cool. And Xavier Woods as King Woods was very fucking fun because he really, Xavier Woods is a broken record. If you listen, you let him tell you that that was the thing he dreamed about was being King of the Ring. So the fact that he got to do it, and like Kofi was his like loyal knight, and that was very funny. And like they played around with it, and they played it up, and it was great. I think it was fantastic. So I was happy about that. And she was just she was just regal, and I think she was in a tag team with Carmella at the time. So she didn't really have a lot going on for her, but was still, still doing good. I wouldn't mind seeing another Queen of the Ring tournament. Here's the thing. At some time, they're going to have to do it because Charlotte has to win it, right? Because Charlotte has to become Queen Charlotte at some point, right? Like, at some point, she's probably got to do it. So they'll do it at least one more time just so she can have that. Probably. One could assume. Let's see. Is there any other wrestling things that I want to talk about here? No more wrestling stuff. I should say, Matsumoto Ligi, a manga artist of note, died at the age of 85. If you were wondering why the Daft Punk videos were like on social media a lot, that is one of the reasons why. That is the thing that he worked on. He collaborated on Space Battleship Yamato, Space Pirate Captain Harlock, Galaxy Express 999, which obviously that takes a lot of inspiration from. Just a whole lot of stuff. And then of course, Daft Punk, the DVD titled Interstellar 5555, the story of the Secret Star system that all had 5s in it instead of S's in 2003. But yeah, he did a whole lot out in the industry, and like there's a whole generation decided that's what anime is supposed to look like because of his work, which is kind of fucking unbelievable. And then yeah, 85 is fucking that's a long life well lived. I saw Kairi lost her title to Mercedes Moné. Yeah, just another spicy I did not watch New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle in the Valley, but I heard that's a good match, and I think that makes sense. I think you put Kairi as a part-timer at this point, even in Japan, and you put that belt on Mercedes. I think you put that belt on Mercedes. It's still a new championship, and Kairi can do plenty of stuff in Stardom. And Mercedes will be a big draw wherever she goes for a while and can take that belt with her. I think it makes a lot of sense to do it. To me, the big news out of that show is that Eddie Kingston beat Jay White, which means that Jay White had already lost a loser leaves Japan match. And then by losing to Eddie Kingston, he can now no longer compete anywhere for New Japan in the world, because obviously New Japan has US shows. So that was kind of like the quote unquote way out for him was, oh, well, then he'll just, do it there. But now he fucking can't do that shit. And Eddie Kingston, if he had lost that match, he couldn't wrestle anyone who works for New Japan or wrestle at New Japan. It was like a stipulation where it's just like, you don't get to wrestle anyone that you love to wrestle, and want to wrestle. So the stakes were high for Eddie. Is it weird that Eddie Kingston has a bigger storyline in New Japan United States, formerly known as New Japan Strong, than he does in AEW? Yes, it is fucking weird that his story in AEW is how he is trying to play mind games with people that seemingly don't want to play mind games with him and don't want anything to do with him. And he's like the third note in a storyline that maybe he'll change. But it is weird that in AEW, his home promotion, he doesn't have anything good going on. And then he has sick matches and cool storylines going on in New Japan. It's kind of fucking frustrating. AEW followed a trademark for AEW Collision, which for a TV show. People were like, oh, are they going to change the house rules? Because they're doing some house shows. They're going to change that. But AEW Collision sounds like a TV show. Sorry to backtrack, Buck. I thought Mercedes was headed to AEW. So, no. Mercedes, there might have been a conversation, but it was never guaranteed. There was a whole mystery of Saraya is going to have a tag team partner. Saraya is going to have a mystery tag team partner. And then they didn't say who it was. And so some people immediately were like, well, it's for a show in LA. It's going to be Mercedes. It's got to be Mercedes. It has to be Mercedes. Otherwise, why would you have a mystery partner? The mystery partner turned out to be Tony Storm. And at one point, Britt Baker said in a pre-taped interview, so you couldn't edit it, that she was the boss of AEW. And people were like, that's a hint. They're teasing it. If it's not a hint, they shouldn't have put it in there, and it's a weird thing. Now, in my opinion, I think at some point they thought they were getting Mercedes, and then they didn't get Mercedes. So they teased it, and then it didn't work out, because that shit happens. But so as of right now, if she is going to work with them, it certainly could happen, but it doesn't seem likely that it is going to happen. It could be. It could happen. But yeah, AEW Collision. We don't know what that's going to be. Tony's going to be on the show on Wednesday. He's going to be on Dynamite with an important... They're really saying like, oh, he's got an important announcement. He's got an important announcement. We don't know what that announcement's going to be. It could be related to whatever AEW collusion is. Collision, I should say, not collusion, collision. Some people were like, oh, I bet it's like something to like, oh, it's probably going to be like, oh, collision. Like it's, people want AEW to do a bunch of stuff with other companies. Yes, collusion indeed. It's not collusion, it's collision. But AEW Collusion is a great name. So, it's probably some sort of crossover show, which some people are always excited for. They're like, oh, hell yeah. They should do stuff with, like, Noah and AAA. Like, they do. But they should do more of it and have, like, everybody on the card and make it the real Forbidden Door. I'm like, look, WWE is the only Forbidden Door at this point. There's nothing else. There are no other Forbidden Doors. There are no doors left to be opened that were forbidden. And it's fine to think that way. I have always been of the opinion that I don't need I don't need them to do more crossovers. I need them to have more stories with the wrestlers they already fucking have. Like, hey, I don't give a shit about Aussie Open. They seem like good wrestlers. I don't need them. Like, they better fucking not win on Wednesday because there's a tag team battle royale where the winning team gets added to the title match at Revolution. I don't want it to be Aussie Open because I don't need to see their fucking faces. They don't work there. Like, they're not signed. So, like, they better fucking not win. It better be a tag team that they have. And maybe they're great. I think they've been good in the use of there, but, like, I don't care. Unless they're like, oh, Aussie Open are all elite. In which case, I'm like, that's too many fucking tag teams, but okay. But, like, otherwise, don't take that spot from other tag teams that would be cool in there. Like, tag teams that have not won the tag titles. Like Best Friends, Best Friends are not going to win the tag belts, probably. Best Friends have more of a chance of winning the Ring of Honor tag belts, which at some point they'll have to put up. I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but at some point they're going to have, like, Ring of Honor has a tag division, it will have a tag division, and at some point should want to try to get those belts. I do think the current Ring of Honor tag belts should stay with the Briscoes, and they should retire those two belts and keep them with Mark. And then there should be new belts designed, and have a new team win those new belts, and not have them be the belts that Mark and Jay won. That's my opinion on that, but I don't have to say in any of that shit. All right, we gotta keep working on this kit. We're gonna move on to working on the waist here. It looks like we're gonna get close to body complete on this kit. I don't think we're gonna finish it because there's a lot of weapons and the shields and all kinds of stuff to do. So I don't think we're gonna finish the fight, but we can get pretty close to putting this fucking thing together. So we'll do that. But first things first. Got to take a pause for the cause. Talk about ways you can support the channel. If you are currently a subscriber to the old Baer Workshop, you can put the Bear Cave Lego Scythe and Tier 2 Baloo emote in the chat. Let the people know. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. All the things I'm going to talk about here are optional. You don't have to do any of these things. If you would like to jump in, you're more than welcome to. If you want to support, you being here is huge. Thank you all so much for spending any time with me here. But being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. It would be nice if you wanted to become one. You could gift a sub to somebody in the community. Aristfan gifted a sub. You could do that. We're at 34. The goal is 40. If we start the subathon, which is a week from tomorrow, with 40 subs, we will start the stream by early in the stream. We will take a look at the many TV appearances that I've made. I have all of them. I have my Hulu bit signed up for a free trial for Hulu so that I could so I could record my appearance in an episode of Difficult People. But yeah, I'll show on TV appearances a couple college humor bits that I've been in that I thought were funny, and we'll take a look at that. That is one way. So that like I say, hitting the 40. That is a way to support me. If you wanted to support me in a different way, you could join my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. I'm sticking with Patreon for now. There's been talk about some people jumping ship to other platforms like it, but Patreon still works pretty fucking well. Even though I don't love it there, I still like it there, and a lot of people are still around. So I'm going to keep that for now. I know some people are talking about other alternatives, but right now, sticking with it. Also, you could you could subscribe to my YouTube. Obviously, subscribing to YouTube is free, and I would encourage you to go over to my YouTube and hit the old sub button. While you're there, if you wanted to become a member, you get my Wednesday videos a day early, and this is the best time to do it. So that means tomorrow, you get the video that everyone else will see on Wednesday. So take a look at that, see if that's something you want to do. Everything I make through YouTube and Patreon and Twitch all goes into a fund which I buy model kits with, including last year when I pre-ordered this kit, the Lfrith. I pre-ordered last year, and I was lucky to be able to get it. I also should say one-time donations, guy. I forgot about that. If those monthly ways don't help you, don't interest you, but you want to help me out, you could always do a direct donation to Coffee or PayPal or Stream Elements, and that goes into a fund, and I buy model kits. I just bought a kit from like 2006, I want to say. Just arrived in the mail. The Hazel 2, which is a Gundam that is like dark blue. It just looks fucking rad. I love the Titan series because they just look so cool. But yeah, I got a Hazel 2 now, high grade, that I'll build in the future. And if you're like, no, Pat, I don't want you to build something from your backlog. I have a very specific thing that you should build, and I will help you make that happen. Well, the way to do that is to go to my Amazon wish list. If you buy something on my wish list, it jumps the queue. It becomes the next thing that I build. I have Lego sets. I got to add some more cheap Lego. I'm going to add more cheap Lego. Right now, the cheapest is a little under $15. So I'll add some cheaper options. So I have Lego sets, model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. There's a crystal puzzle RX-782 that I don't know what the fuck. I don't know why the fuck it looks like that. There's crystal looking. I bet that sucks to build, but I'll do it if you buy it. All kinds of different things. Inexpensive kits, expensive kits. Oh, this Pokemon kit dropped in price, which is nice. And then some gear, because people like gear. Got a few things you can pick up there. The liquid cement is on sale, or it's not on sale, but it dropped in some price because you got to pay for shipping. And a bunch of different things. A comfortable chair. A gift card that I would use to buy WWE 2K23 when that comes out, so I could stream that. A bunch of different things. And I'll shoot a dedicated video if you buy something from my wish list. We'll get through this pretty quick, folks, and get back to this. Building. I have a throne wish list. That is an alternative to the Amazon list. Check that out. See if there's something there you'd like to buy for me. And then USA Gundam Store is the final option. If you want to go there, you can buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store. You get a gift card code. You then DM me on Twitter with the gift card code, and then or send me a whisper here on Twitch, and then I use that to go and buy stuff from USA Gundam Store, which is a store that I like quite a bit. So that's another option. If you want to support me and not spend any money, I've got a Discord. You could jump in the old Discord. There are a nice little community of folks. People posting stuff they're working on. People posting links to things they think I would like. It's a nice little place. A couple of video links for you to check out. Pat Bear's Anime Club. In this episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club, I'm talking about chill slice of life manga, because not all slice of life is chill. And not every great manga has an anime adaptation. Some do, but not every great one. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where I promise that I have done some rehearsal of the character that I am portraying in a video. It's comedy videos. This one's a very short one. This was a very silly shower thought that I had to record and make into a video, and I think you'll like it. It's very short. It's in the sketch world, we call it a blackout sketch, in which case, like, the first joke is the last joke. there's only one joke. It's all set up, and then there's a punchline, and then the lights go out. That's kind of what the vibe is for this one. Like, it doesn't... I couldn't turn this into, like, a 5-minute character study. Like, it just wouldn't work. So, I think it's pretty good. Check it out if you want to. Let's see. I'm going to talk about some manga and then some anime. We'll start with the manga, and then we'll get into the anime. I'm also going to drink a little water because I really need it. And then, we're going to body complete this kit and then start working on the shield after that. But first, I need to drink some water, and we need to dramatically transition to the overhead. So let's do that right now by hitting this button. All right. So, before I start talking about some manga and some anime, real quick, I do want to promote this. It's a week from tomorrow. It is the subathon. It's going to be starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. It is a on-purpose, very long stream. The goal is to hit 75 subscribers. If we don't hit that goal, it's okay, but that is the goal. If we get to 40 or 50 or 60, there are rewards that unlock. There are sub-goals. We're going to watch some stuff, watch some wrestling. I'll sing some karaoke songs. And then at 75, I drink Pepsi milk. I've never tried Pepsi milk because I don't like to punish myself. That's not my jam. Doing things that I won't like is not something that I'm interested in doing. I like quitting things, not doing them out of some sort of sick need to do them. But it felt like a big showstopper to get to 75, which would also, people said, one person said, not people, one person asked, Pat, why 75? And the answer to that is because 74 is the most subscribers I've ever had. So one more is 75. I want to break my record and get 75 subscribers. I don't know if we can do it, but I fucking want to try. So that's where we're at. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you about a manga, and then I'll talk to you about some anime. Okay, this is not an isekai, but it is an overpowered main character manga. It's called I Went from the Strongest Job Dragon Knight to a Beginner Level Job Carrier, yet for some reason the heroes rely on me. This is a character who was incredibly strong and powerful, and he finished up his tasks and he asked for a job change. And he got a job change of a very low-class job. But for some reason, he carried over almost all of his previous abilities. Rajizzle says, never tried Pepsi milk, but I have watched all of Sword Art Online. So you understand, like, doing something outside of your best interest. I understand. I get you. So that's the premise, right? You've got this guy with incredible abilities. People don't think much of couriers, so they don't expect a lot from him. And if you're like, well, Pat, he went from being a Dragon Knight to, so people must recognize him, right? No, they don't. They don't recognize him because as a Dragon Knight, as long as he was Dragon Knight, he had to wear a helmet. And also, his dragon has now taken human form to continue to hang out with them. So he has a dragon companion that is in a human form, and he hangs out and he goes about his business, and he is incredibly overpowered. And eventually, he finds out why he is so strong. It is because when he went to do a job change, the heavens argued about what job he should have, because he had been such a strong and cool Dragon Knight that a lot of the gods that are in charge of different jobs were all like, hey, we want him. They couldn't decide. So they held a lottery, and the courier, or carrier, goddess won. And she was just like, what? So because all the gods showed interest in him, they let him keep all his old jobs because they still wanted to bless him, even though they didn't win the bet or the drawing. Which we find out later, because eventually he's just like, hey, how come I'm so strong? Because people are all dumbfounded by the fact that this dude kicks so much ass. So it's a lot of like overpowered main character doing cool shit, surprising people, showing people that didn't think he was going to be a big deal. People are just consistently fucking surprised as hell that this dude is so strong, which makes sense because he is. He's got a bag of holding kind of a deal and inventory, and he's super strong and use all kinds of magic, and it's just like whatever. Also, he is just trying to do his job. He's just like, oh, that's cool. I'll just do my best. Like, no, I'm a courier. Give me courier jobs. They're like, oh no, but you could defeat these monsters. He's like, yeah, but I'll defeat them on the way, but I have to deliver packages. Like, I'm a courier. So I've talked about the overall plot of it. The art, I think, is pretty good. It's not super standout, but it's fine. There's an elephant in the room, and we need to talk about the elephant in the room with, I went from the strongest job Dragon Knight to a beginner level job carrier, yet for some reason the heroes rely on me. And that is, it's so fucking horny. Now, look, having a lot of ladies like the guild lady, his dragon, who's now a girl, the princess, various women that he's helped along the way, all be interested in him. There's nothing new about that, right? And it's not like it is a sexual story where he's like a Lothario or just can't seem to, he keeps accidentally do it or whatever. It's just background horny. Like, it's just like the goddess, the oracle that he visits, just like keeps apologizing for like him having this job and all this stuff. And then she's just like in his lap sitting there. And then like people's clothing keeps getting like, there's a scientist that he saves and she's got a big lab. She's a tiny girl with a big lab coat, which is fun. We like that. We don't dislike that, I should say. But then like it just keeps almost falling off of her. And then like she's hugging the hero. So then the dragon's like, I also need to be hugging the hero. And it's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck, manga? Like I said, it is not a sexual story, but it is unbelievably horny. Like, and I'm a grown-ass man. You can like what you like. You want to read horny books? Read horny books. You want to watch horny shit? Watch horny shit. Do whatever you want. Be your own person. But I'm saying this is like, it's weird. It's not weird horny because it's not the subject matter that's weird that it's horny. It's the fact that it's horny at all. Like it's so strange because it is like he doesn't comment on it ever. He's not like, what? Like, and occasionally characters seem aware of other characters being weird. Like I'm half expecting there to be a thing where, oh, we made you irresistible to women by accident. Sorry. Like I'm waiting for that and we haven't gotten that, but like it would maybe explain things, but not enough. I went from the strongest job Dragon Knight to a beginner level job carrier, yet for some reason the heroes rely on me is like unbelievably horned up. Like horned up might be actually the right word for it. It's like not horny. It's like the mangaka author might just need some sort of sexual expression. Maybe this is their sexual expression, I guess. I'm trying to not, like I said, there are books where that stuff, where you could just enjoy that if you want to enjoy that. And that's fine. But this book is just like, what's up? Why? What's going on? What's happening? Why is this a thing? I don't know, y'all. I wanted to talk about it because 10 chapters are out now and I've been reading it. And I was like, why is this so horny? And I read a comment the other day of someone just going, so what's up with this book? Like that, and that was their entire comment. And I was just like, yeah, right? You get what I'm talking about. What the fuck? So weird. One of the weirdest things I've been reading, and I don't know if I'm going to continue it. Because, like, also, I like overpowered main character stories. I like the second chance, like, oh, nobody expected me to be anything, and now they're learning that I am cool as hell. Like, I like those. I think those are fun. But I don't need this. Body complete. This kid is body complete. We're not going to finish this tonight, but we're getting really fucking close. Hey, guess what? There'll be a poll for my patrons sometime tomorrow or Wednesday about what I should do on Thursday. Because nothing's come from my wish list lately to jump the queue. So when this is done, which I'll definitely finish this on Thursday, I'll need something else to work on. We got to work on the backpack, which also includes all of the armor and where the beam sabers live. This show, we got blue, lovely blue. These sabers are just gorgeous looking. So we got to get that in. And a cool weapon that also has a beam blade. Love a good beam blade. So yeah, we got to put this all together. We'll start getting that. That's all B2. We have not used anything from B2, and this is all the backpack. This and this are your backpack. We are done with all the pink, unfortunately. I wish there was a little bit more. Like, there's a little bit of the stickers, but, like, I don't know. I wish, like, there was a little bit more color on the legs. But, you know, it is what it is. We got Buddy Daddies and Handyman, Saitou in Another World. Both of these episodes were fucking pretty goddamn heavy, y'all. Buddy Daddies was pretty fucking sad, and then Handyman Saitou was also cool as hell, but also pretty fucking heavy and kind of fucking sad. So Buddy Daddies, so Miri's almost hit by a car. That's how we start this fucking episode. And then we get the backstory. We knew that at one point, Kazuki had a wife and a kid. And we knew that from episode 1. Now, at first, it made it seem like, oh, he must have left them because of his assassin life. No, it's definitely fucking darker than that. He's not a deadbeat dad, but he did. We do get some stuff there because we do find out that they did pass away, and he blames it himself for his job. He also, at the beginning of this episode, when he looks at a photo of his wife, is like, hey, you know what? I don't deserve happiness. He lashes out at Ray. He leaves. And Ray is like, all right, I'm going to have to take Miri to daycare and then figure this out. The lady from the previous episode, Karen, is his stepsister. Sister-in-law, not stepsister. Sister-in-law. And she's returned the money that he was sending her. It's raining and the daycare is closed. And then we find out about Yuzuko, his wife, and their unborn child died in a car explosion. And Miri is sick. Like I said, this episode is like pretty fucking heavy, and a lot is going on. There's a lot to it. Let's see. Miri's got a fever, so Ray rushes for help because Ray is kind of helpless on this stuff. And then Kazuki visits Yuzuko's grave, and Karen's there, and she's like, "Hey, I'm going to France. I'm moving forward. Like, you know, I miss my sister, but I've got to live on." And hey, my sister wanted you to be happy, so fucking try to figure that shit out. Try to get happy. Figure out how that works. It's, and yeah, you are allowed to be happy because she wanted you to be happy. Kazuki goes home and finds Rei exhausted. Miri's recovered from the fever. And the end of the episode, y'all. Kazuki takes the photo of Izuko out and displays it on his desk. And a thing I didn't think was going to happen until later in the series. We were going to understand what was going on with the fact that he's, got a wife out there somewhere. Like, well, we fucking found out. And it's sad. And this episode was fucking good. I often describe this show as we have Spy Family at home. And it is. It is a show where I'm like, you want a lot of fucking fan art of these two daddies. These buddy daddies, huh? You want a lot of fucking fan art out there. Are you willing to do the work? And I still don't know if they're willing to do that work, but they are willing to have a really fucking solid ass episode of it. Like, this was good. It was heartfelt and good. I will admit, I was feeling some fucking feelings. I was into it. I watched this yesterday. And then Handyman Saitou in Another World ended with time freezing last episode. A guy who's trying to save someone that we met earlier is giving into his... he's possessed by a demon. Looked like some people were going to die. We thought that Saitou was about to fucking die. Like, our main fucking character. It looked like he was going to die. But Morlock has regained some of his memories, the old wizard, and has frozen time in order to complete some big spells and take out this demonic person, because he's the only one that can fucking do it. And so we get like a lot of like, would have been pages and pages of the manga of our dude, like reminding himself about his spells and getting stronger and getting ready to attack with all of this high. It's this fun idea where he's like, I'll do a low-level spell, but since I'm powered up, I know I won't mess it up, and I can just make it even stronger. And logistically, it makes a lot of sense for him to do that, to be able to know how to pull that off. It's like, oh yeah, okay, sure. It's like, I buy that. I buy that you can do you can make a low-level spell really powerful by powering up and then having the belief that you'll be able to succeed no matter what. But as he gets ready to destroy this dark spirit that's controlling the guy, he has flashes of, like, the reason why. And he's like, well, I can't let anyone die, but I also don't feel like I can help. So he cancels the magic instead of killing, cancel the magic, so that way they're canceled. From fusing and becoming stronger and demonic or whatever. So now they can atone for what they've done. So Dorg is back, which is good. And the royal minister's there. Morlock. Because the whole point was they were going to try to find this guy, Crom. But he's like, Crom left. This whole thing was not worth your time. But the king could restore Lavella's youth, which is what the whole point of all this was. So Kirizurugi is basically, he's going to get the death penalty anyway. So it looks like he's going to give up his life force in order for her to regain it. Because everyone basically agrees. Because he's like, I've killed so many people that I'm definitely going to be put to death. I might as well. And like I said, this is a series that most of the episodes have been about a handyman in a fantasy world doing handyman shit, like opening locked chests and like picking locks and disarming traps and repairing equipment and just being a good dude. And then it was like, this guy lost the memories of his dead child, and this dude is killing people in order to save the life of someone, and everybody that we like could die at any moment. And it's just like, holy shit, anime, you got fucking heavy all of a sudden. Jeez. So Handyman Saitou in Another World, I would say, is at sometimes a chill anime, but it is not always a chill anime. And so I would say that, yeah, I would say it is fucking good, but also pretty goddamn heavy. But still very good. And that's the anime that I have been watching, because I've kind of run out of stuff to try. There's still a few things that I would like to give a shot to. I just haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not. But there are a few things out there that I'm like, I might want to try those. I don't know. I don't know. But there are a few series that I might give a try. Now's the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. What are you playing? What are you watching? What are you into right now? What's got you psyched that you were like, you can't wait to tell me about? I have, I've been playing Hearthstone every day and enjoying Hearthstone. Still enjoying my time there. The mini set, I think, gave way to a couple pretty fun decks. Not like a lot of fun decks, but like a couple extremely good decks that I've been adding that I've had fun with. I have been trying to finish Power Wash Simulator, the Tomb Raider pack. I will be streaming that tomorrow at starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. We will go and check out the stages that I finished, and then we'll go into the final stage and try to knock that out. But I want to showcase the ones that I haven't shown. The obstacle course and the vehicles, and then the final, or the maze, and then the final location. And we'll just kind of go and do free play on the other ones, and then go in and check out the final. There was a lot more to that than I thought. There will be more next month, and yes, we will indeed check out the Final Fantasy VII one. That will happen. We will check that out. But we're still in the Tomb Raider. That'll be tomorrow. So I've been trying to get closer to finishing that. So I played that a bunch this weekend. At the very least, I wanted to get some ways into the final location so that I could be ready to stream that tomorrow. So I've been doing that. And then I've been playing a lot of fucking Hitman, y'all. More Hitman Freelancer. I am... Oh, what goofy shit happened with me yesterday. But I want to hear from you in chat if you'd like to throw your thoughts in chat about what you've been playing, or if you're watching anything on TV, or you into anything right now. We got some time left in the stream to talk about all that. What else? Like, I can tell you what else. A fun thing in Freelancer. So I had a mission in the Knives Out house. I was in the Knives Out stage, which is fun. And I was just running around in there, like being sneaky, being me. And I had to figure out like who the target was, because there are a bunch of them, right? So I had to go in and do that. And so I'm just like sneaking around, like seeing what's up, and then I just like accidentally bump into someone that turns out to be my target. And then push the assassin. That I'm getting more points for taking out their counter assassins. When I realize this is the person, knock them out, knock out the assassin, have the assassin die in an accident, which is pushing them off the ledge, and then pushing off my target off the ledge. And I just got like so many fucking points. I like basically did everything. There were like, and then I ran. Just fucking took off so that I could exit the map before any bodies were found, and no one found the bodies. There was nowhere to hide them, so I just ran, and I accomplished all of my tasks that I had for that. Because it was like accident kills, no one find bodies, take out one of the assassins, don't be seen by anyone, non-lethal I could use non-lethal takedowns. And like I was just like whatever, and it was just like a perfect run. And then I was like, they might find this body. I got a fucking jet, and then I just took off and managed to make it in time. And I was so fucked. Oh, and also not change any disguises. I didn't have to, I couldn't change disguises, and I didn't have to change any disguises. And it was so fucking rewarding and good. That game can be unbelievable. This freelancer mode is maybe too hard sometimes, but like totally fun, and works really well for my playstyle, which is try to do it really well and then pick up the pieces when everything falls apart. That's my playstyle, so I'm getting pretty good at it. Last week says, for no reason, I ended up watching Gunbuster this weekend. Still rules aside from the bits where Anno just wanted to look at some ladies. Yeah, that one is very like male gaze. Like there's a lot of fucking male gaze in Gunbuster, but also some very cool action, and the art I think holds up for the most part. But yeah, sometimes Gunbuster is just like, come on. Lord Crashton says, I've been playing more Theatrhythm and enjoying some Final Fantasy music. Yeah, I watched some streamers play that over the weekend, and that was neat. I would count that as being a neat experience. I would say that was pretty fucking good. Just another spicy. Still playing through Metroid Prime Remastered and getting ready in Destiny for the next expansion, Lightfall, next Tuesday. Hell yeah! Just another spicy. I hope you have a great time in Lightfall, not Nightfall. I hope you have a great time in Lightfall. I hope it's really fun. I don't have much to say about Destiny. I have never played either Destiny, any Destiny. I've never touched it. It was just not my thing. I hope it's good. John has been playing a lot of EDF 5 and hoping to finish up Fire Emblem Engage tonight so I can go to Metroid Prime Remastered soon. Nice. And then Lashbrook is looking forward to Ishin tomorrow. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. I have wish listed, I will wish list Ishin, and I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. I don't think I want to get it right away because I like the Yakuza games, but that one never really interested me. Like, just like the setting, like I've just read so much set in that setting and so much manga, so much anime that it's just like doesn't really do it for me. Also, undercover stories don't really do a whole lot for me. I like the premise of undercover stories, but not like the reality of dealing with it, if that makes any sense. Like Sleeping Dogs, I thought was a good one of those, but I rarely actually think they're that good. I'm more likely to be not super into them, I guess. How does this look? Does this look right? Yeah, this looks right. Okay. So these have to go in like this. This goes in like that. Now let's build the bottom part of this. Lord Crashington is now playing the refresh tracking info for my PS2 VR delivery every few hours game. I hear you, Lord Crashington. I hope that arrives to you soon and in great condition, and you have a great fucking time with that shit. And it's just like cool as hell, and you're so psyched, and you're having a great time with PSVR 2. I don't have a PlayStation, so I will not be getting that. But I hope you have a great time with it. Also, I can't really be asked about it. You know what I mean? Like, I've never been big on VR. For a while there, I was doing reviews for a company. I was doing paid, like, mock reviews of VR games and VR experiences for a company that was developing them. Basically, a friend got me the gig, and it was a great little gig while I had it. And I was borrowing a phone and a whole thing, an Oculus, and it was fine. But I don't I don't miss it. I think watching 2D movies in it was probably my favorite thing. I mean, some of the games were fine. I think the experiences were totally okay. But I do think my favorite thing in it was watching 2D movies. Like, that was kind of neat. So that's kind of where I'm at with that whole experience. Sony got Ozzy Osbourne to do an ad for the Horizon VR game. I mean, just say they paid, Sony paid Ozzy Osbourne to be in a thing. Like, I know that doesn't sound as cool as Sony got Ozzy Osbourne for this. Just be like, Sony realized that Ozzy Osbourne has a fucking price and isn't going to tour anymore, so is looking to make money in an easy fashion. I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything, Lord Crashington, with that, but it's just like, I mean, sure. I feel like they probably didn't have to pull too much teeth. His wife Sharon was in it too. That also doesn't surprise me at all. Great. She was probably gonna have to be there anyway, so cool. Like, I hope they had fun in the ad and they had a good time and they got paid well. I hope it was a fun day on set for everyone involved. Again, tomorrow, gonna play some video games. Hope you tune in for that. My Power Wash Simulator streams are very chill. They are the chillest streams that I have because it is just the sound of water spraying and things getting cleaned. And then people in chat will tell me that this is a reference to a Tomb Raider game, and I'll go, I believe you, because there are a lot of There are Tomb Raider references in this pack that I totally understand and get from remembering stuff about Lara Croft. There are a couple little like Easter egg things that are fun that I'm like, this is cute. There's one thing that I think is really good in the very final stage that I like. There's like a small detail in the final stage that I think is like excellent. So yeah, I think it'll be a fun time, and I hope you can come and check that out tomorrow. We are now completely done with the body of this kit. We're going to put the backpack on. I got to figure out how that goes. Ooh, does it just go like this? That doesn't seem right. What? That doesn't seem right. Why does that seem wrong? These pegs don't seem big at all. I'll just have to go farther in, maybe? Oh, okay. I didn't have this piece on all the way so that the pegs were not sticking out. Now this should work. I do it like that. Hell yeah. There we go. The backpack of this kit is on. We still have the shield, which also becomes like both. We have the weapon, which is easy to build, and then the shield, which breaks off into different components, which just looks fucking rad. So we have the shield and the gun, and yeah, all those parts go together. So we'll have to put all that, because the shield breaks off into pieces that all live in there, and so we'll have to do that to make that look fucking cool. I guess for today, what we can do is we can put the beam sabers in the hands, because that's fun. We'll do that. Let's do that. I was transported back to 20 years ago when the Osbournes was a thing, as Ozzy and Sharon yelled at each other. Yeah, there you go. Nostalgia for all the Horizon fans that remember that show, I guess, or all the Horizon fans that are the people with money in their family, the people that are spending money for Horizon VR, and a PlayStation and a PS2 VR, or PSVR 2 or whatever. So we got these beautiful looking blue beams. We love those. We like those here. Got the backpack. We'll take a couple photos. I'll just do photos right now. Why the fuck not? I'm going to do photos right now while we're still all together here. Take some photos. Beam saber photo here. I'm going to scoop this down. You don't even know that. Beam sabers. This page has a QR code. and my phone kept being like, do you want to open that QR code? It's like, no, I want to take a photo. I'm going to have to take another photo. I'm going to take a photo differently here because I'm afraid that people might see the QR code and their phones might freak out, which I have not experienced that problem before. But I have to be aware of that. All right, we'll do that. And then we'll do this so they can, yeah. That's fun. Take those off. I saw that Jason Stryker is doing some streaming on Twitch now. Oh, nice. I didn't know that Jason was doing some streaming. I did not see that. That's cool. Good for Jason. I'll have to make sure that I am following him. That's fun. I like Jason. That's cool. All right, and this kit was cool. That was fun. This is a fun stream tonight. Thanks for spending some of your Monday with your friend Pat. I'm your friend Pat. That's me. Again, the quickest of quick reminders as we get ready to go raid, because we will end with a raid. We'll find somebody doing some cool shit out there. But just a quick reminder about the subathon. A very long stream that you could check out, which is a week from tomorrow. Again, my stream tomorrow, I will be playing some Power Wash Simulator, the Tomb Raider pack. We're going to continue that. We're going to showcase all the other modes in there. But yeah, a week from there, playing some Persona 4 Golden, playing some with mods, playing some Hearthstone decks, doing some Skaven and Hearthstone. It's going to be a good time. I hope you will come check that out. I think it'll be neat, and you'll have fun. We are going to end with a raid because that is how we end every stream. We're going to go find somebody cool to hang out with. So let's just get that ready to go right now. We're going to go raid Mary Kish. It's Monday. We always raid. Also win Life All Rest. Nice. Thanks, Justin or Spicy. Yes. You know what? We'll do this. Let's do this right now. We're going to do shout out. We're going to do shout out to Una Striker. Una Strike. Oops. Nope, that's wrong. That's what we need to do. Shout out. I spelled his name wrong. We're going to give Una Strike a shout out. So you can go check that out. I hadn't followed him, so now I'm following him. And then we're going to go raid Mary Kish. So please come along on this raid. I hope you had a great night tonight. I hope you'll come out, hang with Mary. Mary's playing Returnal. I love that she plays a different game every fucking Monday. I think that's cool. But she's playing the PC version of Returnal, which recently came out. So let's go hang out with Mary. And I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you for joining me. Have a good one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye to you, VOD Watcher.